Hello, Cancer, and happy birthday, friends. How are you? Thank you so much for stopping in here, Cancer. I've got a couple of decks, and we're going to look at this reading for the rest of 2025. And thank you so much for clicking here, by the way. This is still a general reading, and some of this may resonate with you now if you're the kind of person who plans in for the rest of the year. But for others of you, maybe it's July and August that might resonate, but the rest is going to be future predictions. So please keep in mind that this is a general reading. So we have a couple of tarot decks that we're going to use. We do have Tarot of Dreams, and we do have the Wild Reflections Tarot. We're going to clarify with that. There is going to be an extension at the end, an extended at the end of this reading. So if you're interested in that, hang around to the end, and I'll tell you how to get there. There's also a pile of sales on for pre-recorded and live private reads right now. So check the pinned comment, and I'll give you more details at the end of this reading. Find out what is going on for you. If you are brand new, I do this reading. That's the first time I've done a reading for the rest of the year, but usually I do a monthly reading for the whole collective. And if you are brand new, welcome here. There's all sorts of Cancer reads on this platform here with me, and I read for Cancer once a week. And if you are someone who just keeps coming back because you love me that much and you like the content, I appreciate you. Thanks for the thumbs up if that's what you plan on doing. All right, let's find out what's going on for you, Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's start with July. The rest of July brings the Seven of Pentacles, something coming in slowly for you here. August, the Ace of Cups. September, got the Five of Wands. October, got the Eight of Wands. November, things come into balance for you in November. And December, we've got the Six of Swords. So leaving behind something in order to get something new in the future here, and I feel like you're leaving behind something in the month of November. I've got 3 spaces available here. This is going to be January, February, March of 2026, but also is going to be a little bit of advice for the first 6 months, or the last 6 months of the year here. Let's find out what's going on here. Tell me more about Cancer. We've got the Four of Swords, got the King of Swords, and the Judgment card. So something is about to change. Your overall energy, which I really love for you here, your overall energy, Cancer, is the Nine of Pentacles. Look, you're doing something right. I think for the next 6 months, you are going to see a lot of growth in your confidence. Possibly you are dressing different or doing something different with your hair, or wearing something different. If you're a guy, maybe you shave your head and you just got a beard and sunglasses. I don't know why I'm looking at that. I'm looking at someone who's got a mustache, beard, sunglasses, bald head. So maybe you shaved your head. I don't know. But and you're in a leather jacket, by the way, and black boots. So somebody here has changed their look, it feels like. So over the next 6 months, this might happen here for some of you. But for others of you, I feel like it is a building of confidence or the building of a business. It's something that you're doing alone that's causing you to realize that you really didn't need any external validation in order to build your empire. And this is pre-Empress energy as well, this Nine of Pentacles. So it feels like you're about ready to step into your Emperor/Empress energy here. All right, let's find out what's going on here. Tell me more about Cancer. Looking at July, the rest of July, here we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Something here is growing, and it could be you for sure, but I feel like something in your material world is growing. So I feel like you're starting to see the fruits of your labor, or in July, by the end of July, you'll start to see the fruits of your labor. I feel like you've been putting a lot of hard work in on something here, Cancer, that you feel like you're not really seeing your return on. But remember, Nine of Pentacles is your overall energy for the next 6 months. So although you're waiting to see the benefits of something, it may not be until, one of these other months come by. We'll clarify and find out what's going on, of course. But let's find out what's going on with the Seven of Pentacles. What are you waiting for here? What are you working really hard on? Tell me about this. We've got the Page of Cups. Got the Star. Oops. That one's falling out. We've got the Nine of Wands. So I do feel that what you're waiting for is for someone to notice you, or someone to notice the work you've been putting in. Possibly you're waiting for, like, you're becoming hopeful that with all of the work that you've put in, either on yourself or on your confidence, on your business, whatever it is that you've put the work in on here, the Nine of Wands is telling me that you're almost at burnout. So please be aware that I don't think that you're resting enough. I think you've got like a lopsided work-life sort of balance. I'm going to say that if it is you I'm talking to, if you are resonating with this, I feel like that this burnout thing for you is right around the corner. It feels like it's almost like you're trying to find a way. It does feel like you're trying to find a way to anchor something or to grow something that's really hard to grow, or it's been a long time since you've had any sort of financial security, stability, confidence. I'm just looking at this person who's sitting up against the tree here. And this person is sitting up against the tree, and I feel like it's like something that you're building that is rooting or becoming sturdy. I think that you are going to be surprised at possibly seeing some progress in the month of July. I don't think it's all the way done or all the way finished, but I feel like the Page of Cups is telling me that you might be surprised at how quickly the healing comes, or how quickly you heal after you decide to get your life and work balance back into some sort of balance, I feel here. The Nine of Wands is also, sort of feeling beat up from the past, I'm going to say, feeling sort of maybe living in trauma, trying to heal your trauma possibly. If that's you and it's been taking a long time, I feel like you are going to feel a little better coming into the month of August here, because we do have the Ace of Cups, which is full. And so I feel like it's overflowing. I feel like love is what holds you up, is what it feels like here. Tell me about the Ace of Cups. We've got the Page of Wands, we've got the High Priestess, and we've got the Ten of Cups. I do feel like whatever work you've been doing to heal, for some of you this month is basically going to be a time of reflection, because I feel like, some of you will be having birthdays this month. It's a time of reflection. What have I done up to here? It feels like somebody's realizing life is just a little bit out of balance, and it's time for a little more healing, or to be more hopeful that, now that I'm seeing this Ten of Pentacles, the Page of Wands with the Ace of Cups, it feels like maybe you're thinking about reaching out to someone, possibly, or maybe it could be someone that maybe you want to apologize to or smooth things over with. The Ace of Cups is here with the Page of Wands. It does feel like somebody wants to communicate with another person. It feels like there's a sweet sort of undertone here, but it also feels like a spark of excitement that possibly this person that you've been quiet with, or that has been quiet with you, that possibly there still might be a connection here. I feel like you're looking at maybe trying to rebuild the connection, or maybe just sort of poking at it to see if it's still alive, poking at it with a stick from a distance to see if it's still alive. But I feel like this High Priestess energy is telling me that your intuition has sort of been ignited, or telling you, you know what, there still might be something here. Maybe it's time to check in on this person. The Ace of Cups is the beginning of something that is emotional and compassionate and loving and deep. And I feel like this Ten of Cups here tells me that you're missing somebody. It feels like you're missing someone from your family, or maybe it's a romantic connection. It feels like you're missing someone. There's someone that has been quiet with you, or you've been quiet with them. So I feel like in the month of August, you're thinking about someone. Maybe it's a member of the family. It could be a sister or a brother, a mother or a father, but this could also be a romantic connection with the Ace of Cups being here. It is the beginning of the opening of some sort of line of connection or communication, it feels like here. Tell me why the Five of Wands is here for September. Why is the Five of Wands here for September for Cancer, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Queen of Swords. We've got the World card. And we've got the Seven of Swords. It does feel here with the Five of Wands that it does feel like you're struggling internally with what to say, or how to say it, or should I say it at all? Or is this over? Is the door closed? Whatever this is, and it doesn't have to be related to any sort of this situation. It can be a different situation altogether, but for some of you it will be related. It feels like you've been thinking about someone. It does feel like it is someone that you were very close to, whether that's a friend or a family member, or maybe it was a romantic connection. It feels like someone you had a really deep sort of resonance with, I want to say, because the High Priestess is here. It feels like you still feel connected to this person in a spiritual way, that maybe you've begun to think about them again, and the connection that you had in the past, whatever type of connection that is. So the Five of Wands is a little bit of inward conflict, right? It's like you're conflicted about whether you should take action or not. That maybe you're feeling like, for those of you who this is resonating as a romantic energy, that it feels like you don't know what to say because you're not really sure if this person is actually seeing someone or dating someone. The Queen of Swords is someone who's going to be very honest with you, and I think that you are beginning to be very honest with yourself. Maybe the reason why you're conflicted about whether to reach out or not is because you're not sure if the chapter is completely closed or not. It does feel like there may have been sharp words, or somebody may have spoken a truth, and maybe the truth wasn't something that the other person wanted to hear. Now, I don't know if it's you or them. Take it as it resonates for you. But the Queen of Swords doesn't really care if you like the truth or not. The truth is the truth. And so it feels like that possibly this Seven of Swords tells me that everything went quiet at some point, and now we're just not speaking with each other. So I think that you still are unclear about whether this chapter is actually completely and totally closed, or is there still a chance that maybe I could reach out and say something. Whatever you're planning to say, I think that this information here in the cards is saying, just be honest. I mean, if you've got nothing to lose and you think the door is closed already, Cancer, maybe you just need to say what you need to say, right? The Seven of Swords tells me that it's either been quiet, or something's been under the surface, or there's somebody who's lying about the truth. So I feel like the truth is that somebody here has feelings, and I feel like you haven't spoken them out. So I think that this is what you're going to be going through in September, wondering whether that door is closed or not. Have we completed a cycle or a chapter in this life here? And is it closed for good? If the door is closed, is it closed for good? Let's talk about this Eight of Wands here, because it looks like things are about to get a little bit more exciting or move a little quicker in the month of October here. Tell me why we've got Sagittarius energy, Eight of Wands here in October. Tell me about this. Why is the Eight of Wands here? We've got the Nine of Cups. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. And we've got the Ten of Wands. Cancer, I think you're getting some good news in October. It feels like there is some good news, and I think it sort of coincides with some sort of plan that you've put in place, or it feels like you've been following along with some sort of plan because you've got a goal. There is some sort of goal. Maybe the goal is to save enough money to whatever, place your thing there, travel, buy a house, buy a car. It feels like possibly it's about saving money, but I feel like you've been under financial obligations or under financial pressure. I want to say that you received some good news about that, and it sort of shakes things free a little bit. I want to say that you're able to move forward with your plan. It feels like with the Knight of Pentacles that you've been planning something, that you have a goal and you've written it down. So for those of you who are still just thinking about it and actually haven't written it down, or broken it down, like if you want to save money from July until December and you want a certain amount, $10,000, how much do you have to save daily, weekly, monthly, hourly, whatever it is? I feel like you already have written it down, that you do have a plan that you're following here and that you're close to your goal. But I feel like you get some good news about your goal. And so it feels like it shakes something free and everything begins to move freely again. It almost feels like you either pay off a bill, or you maybe you make the last payment on the mortgage, or you finally catch up with something you've been behind on. But it feels like you are feeling a little bit, you're feeling good, you're feeling happy, and it's something you did on your own. It's not something that anybody gave you. So this happiness is coming from within because you've accomplished something that helps you get closer to your goal. I feel like you've been on this path for a really long time trying to get to the goal, and I feel like you are going to get good news about whatever the goal is for you. You're going to get good news about that in the month of October here. In November, things are coming into balance for you. It feels like you're clearing a debt, clearing a karmic debt. There might be something that is maybe is involving the justice system. Maybe it's in the courts. It feels like something here is coming into balance for you here. And I don't think you really are, I don't think it's something that you had to do. I think it's like, it's something you had to leave up to the court system, or the justice system. It feels like you had to leave it up to the universe possibly, but I do feel that whatever this is about to come into balance in the month of October. I'm sorry, November. I was thinking October because Libra October, right? November, I feel. And it could be in Scorpio season, because Scorpio season does start at the end of October. So we do have the Knight of Swords. We have the Knight of Cups. And we have the Tower. So it's a realization for you, is what it is. It's a realization that I really need to speak to someone about exactly how I feel about the situation. What the situation is up to you. It could be something like a divorce or a separation. It could be something legal, but it also could be something romantic. It could be, I'm saying divorce or separation, because to me, justice and the Tower, that is divorce or separation. Maybe we're going through proceedings. Maybe it's taking too long because this is the passive Knight and things can take rather long. If, you know, this one's playing chess, being strategic. That's you, Cancer. You're quite strategic in your energy. And so I feel like this Knight of Swords tells me you hear something about this. So there is something that is coming into balance because news is coming, and it comes swiftly. So I'm going to say it comes at the beginning of the month, sometime in the first week or so. And the Knight of Cups here tells me that it could be of a romantic nature. So for some of you, this is a legal thing. For some of you, it's the breaking down of a marriage, and I think things come finally full circle, or, you know, the things begin to settle in September, and then by October, November, it feels like the legal thing is taken care of. But I think for others of you, if we are looking at this in a romantic sense, because I'm looking at it that way as well, that the Knight of Cups is here with the Tower. You know what that means, right? So this is like a shocking revelation that somebody has feelings for another person, and now I've just got to go. It's like you have no more time left to waste. Somebody's having a revelation that's bringing, it's like a karmic something or other is, karma's being cleared, and now things are coming into balance, and now you can think clearly, and it's time to get over there and tell this person that I really do have these feelings. I feel like you're bringing them to the surface. It does feel like, though, that you're just going to blurt them out. And so I feel like you're going to communicate with somebody. I feel like up till now, you've been very strategic with your time, your energy, your emotions, keeping them under the surface. And I feel like the Tower comes to throw everything to the ground because it's time to start a new chapter. You've been going the wrong way. So I feel like this is a shock or a surprise that shows up for you in November. December is when I feel there is movement. Tell me about December of 2025 for Cancer, please. Tell me about December. Why do we have the Six of Swords here, please? It's like you get some deep clarity on what you must do to move forward here, because we do have Aquarius energy and we do have the Six of Swords. So we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Five of Wands, and we have the Empress. Well, there she be. So it feels like here that the five, having two fives here, right? So for me, whenever more than one five shows up, it means that there is going to be immediate change. Something is going to change quickly in December, I feel, with this Six of Swords, and it feels like somebody has decided no more chaos. I've got to move toward the calm, and the calm for you, I feel, is birthing something new. It does feel like you have been in this Five of Wands energy, which I think we saw up here. Yep, so we have three fives actually. 555 is quick change. So I feel like finally, after thinking about it for a long while, maybe September, October, November is when you get this shocking revelation. I feel like things begin to change, or you make really quick change in the month of December. So the Empress is here, and I mean, the Empress is birthing a new chapter in the life, right? So something that's brand new, creating something, giving life to something, breathing life into something, right? It could be a child that's being born, possibly in your life. Maybe your child is having a child, or maybe you are going to have another baby, possibly. It doesn't have to be the birth of a child, because birth means anything really. It could be the birth of an idea, the birth of a business, but it feels like there is something new that's on the horizon, and I feel like there is a quick change here, that you don't want to be left out anymore, that you don't want to be in indecision anymore. And I feel like for some of you, if this is a romantic thing, it feels like you are going to start pursuing the Empress here. And for those of you who this is not about romance, it feels like it is something new here. It feels like it is a new business or an idea, and you are finally bringing it into the 3D, because Taurus is all about the 3D energy, right? And you're bringing something into balance. It's like you take this justice energy and you pull it into the end of the year. So it does feel like there is something that is big, that is going to change for you. The end of the year is not going to look anything like the beginning of the year. And it feels like it all starts for you in July, where you start realizing that you need healing, maybe from your trauma, or that you need to be a little bit more hopeful. I feel like possibly at the beginning in July, you realize that you've been using work to cover up the trauma, and that you just feel like not enough, so you just work harder. And I feel like that's really not what you should be doing. It does feel like you work harder, but it also feels like you're becoming mentally exhausted, I want to say, so be aware of that. We do have the King of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles in the future energy here, and so we are looking at January, February, March. We are going to go into the extended, and we are going to talk about the advice that you are that the universe wants to give you about all the changes that are going on here. We're going to clarify this tower and see what the revelation is exactly, and why you're on the bike going towards something that I feel is either romantic or strategic. So we're going to find out both, for those of you who are looking at this as romantic, and those of you who have the perception of something, a strategy that's changing to bring everything into balance. We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about, look, we have the King of Swords here. We have the King of Swords here as well. So the King of Swords, definitely it's confirming that there is some sort of energy of finding out truth and justice. And it's like you've been on this journey of waiting or working really hard to find truth or justice. You start here in July, right? Some sort of decision is coming here. You get some great clarity, and I feel like you are leaving the path that you were on and being resurrected into someone new, someone who is thinking about things logically, so without the emotion. But you are deeply emotional and connected to your emotions, but I feel like you are now making a decision that's best for you logically. It feels like after some healing, after getting your balance, that it is time for you to think about things clearly, honestly, be honest with yourself that it is time for change. I think you are making change, and we will talk about that in the extended. If you are interested in seeing the extended, please go to the comments. At the very top of all the comments, there's a pinned comment that does show you, one, a link for the membership area, which is where all the extendeds are, and two, there's all kinds of sales going on now. So from the 1st until the 20th of July, you can get 10% off of your pre-recorded readings when you book them. And also please know that you can get anywhere from 5% to 75% off of live readings if you are someone who's interested in speaking to me. Got to speak with Jennifer today. Jennifer, if you're watching this reading, thank you so much for your conversation. We had such a great conversation. So if you're interested in a live read, please look in the pinned comment. I'm going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, Cancer, you know what to do. But if this is where we part, then that's okay, because I'm always going to be back with more readings, right? You guys have a beautiful weekend, and I'll be back because I'm always back. Love you guys. Bye.